The Pacers have barely limped into this offseason, experiencing injury after injury on route to a quick first-round exit at the hands of the finals-bound Miami Heat. Though this season was far from a failure, it was more of a missed opportunity, as injuries prevented key players from showing just how far up the team's ceiling really is, leaving management to make tough decisions with little to work with in recent performances. In this video, we will go over two major decisions the Pacers have to make this offseason. Yeah, but before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to one of my subscribers, Yogi Jones. In one of my previous videos, he commented saying he wanted this content, and I'm here to deliver for any of my faithful subscribers. So yeah, if you have anything you want to see, put it down in the comments. I'll add it to my list. But anyways, let's just hop right into it. The biggest obstacle facing the Indiana Pacers in the 2020 offseason is the future of Victor Oladipo. The two-time All-Star is heading into the final season for a 4-year, $85 million contract he signed in 2017. At the time the deal was inked, Oladipo was an unproven youngster, but it has since grown into an all-NBA guard with impressive capabilities on both ends of the floor. At his best, the 28-year-old is an all-star caliber force. The trouble for the Pacers and Oladipo is that he hasn't been at his best for a while, and he might never reach that peak again. The 7-year veteran suffered a ruptured quad tendon in his right knee in 2019 and has only played a total of 23 games since. In his recent 19 games, he only averaged 14.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in 28 minutes per game. He shot a very underwhelming 39.4% from the floor and a frigid 31.7% from 3-point. The ceiling for Oladipo is still an all-star caliber player, but is he worth a max contract after next season? I don't believe so, for two main reasons. First, the team has not missed his absence much. Besides maybe ticket sales, the performance has been the same if not better without him. Indiana was just 7-6 in the games Oladipo played in the season, and 32-20 in the games he did not play. A very small sample size for the games he did play, but still, the Pacers are more than just their all-star. They have a collection of talent that isn't afraid to get their hands dirty and plays hard consistently. I say this with all love though. Victor Oladipo is a player who most definitely raises the floor for a team like the Pacers. As of now, he hasn't shown that he is a transcendent player who can carry a team to contention. And for a small market team like the Pacers, it doesn't make sense to max out a player when they are years away from contention. Secondly, the Pacers front office has shown in the past their ability to swindle a good return for their star player. In fact, their two best players right now, Oladipo and Sabonis, came via the Paul George trade. The Pacers don't necessarily need to ship Oladipo this offseason though. In fact, it may be better for them to play through next season and evaluate exactly the damage a Brogdon-Oladipo backcourt can achieve. And if they do not like the results or do not like the potential, they can trade him at the deadline. Because as of now, not many other teams see him as a max player either. By waiting, they could potentially increase his trade stock, or not trade him altogether. As of today, I have thought of two potential trades the Pacers could make for Victor Oladipo. First, they could trade Oladipo for Caris LeVert. Nets would give up LeVert, Kukoc, and a 19th pick in the 2020 draft, while the Pacers will be shipping away Victor Oladipo. This trade will make a lot of sense for both teams on paper. LeVert gets to come back to the team that originally drafted him, and the Nets get the third superstar they've been looking for. If Oladipo does have to be traded, these are one of the better realistic options. LeVert has quietly improved every season he has been in the league, and also has been a very solid player. Last year at the beginning of the Nets season, LeVert was considered to be the best player on the roster. After a nasty leg injury, he was sidelined for a good portion of the season. He then came back and finished the season strong. LeVert also had a very solid year this season, and most notably led a Nets team full of walk-ons in the playoffs and showed out. He averaged 19 points per game, 4 rebounds and 4 assists, while shooting an effective field goal percentage of 48%. LeVert is great at creating offense off the drive, whether it be scoring or playmaking. This could be a possible star in the making. Kukoc himself is a very solid prospect who plays the 4 off the bench. He has seen playoff action in the past 2 seasons for the Nets. This season his averages fell as he ended up playing less. Kukoc is a very interesting prospect who could be a solid wing coming off the bench. His game sort of reminds me of a poor man's Brandon Clark, but he could grow into a better version. The Nets also throw in the 19th pick in the 2020 draft, which was originally owned by the 76ers. The Pacers getting a potential star and a shot at developing 2 role players would be a win in a lot of people's books. The next realistic trade I thought of for Oladipo isn't nearly as enticing for Pacers fans, but for Mavericks fans they will be rejoicing all day and night. It will be Tim Hardaway Jr. in an 18th overall pick in the 2020 draft for Victor Oladipo. Now, Tim Hardaway Jr., to his credit, has shown he is a very dynamic scorer in this postseason. He can score on all 3 levels, and he added a lot of off-the-ball shooting and just scoring in general for that Mavericks team. But it doesn't quite match with Oladipo's stature and his total value. But it is a possible trade, and if they do need to trade Oladipo, this could be a trade that really buffs up their role players. Tim Hardaway Jr. is also on a 1+1 deal, so if it doesn't really pan out well, they won't be with him for long. The next main issue the Pacers will have to deal with is Myles Turner. Myles Turner and Sabonis are 2 budding stars who the Pacers have primarily kept away from each other. While they are very good individually, when they are on the floor together, both of their production plummets. Turner has grown into a much improved 3-point shooter in the past couple of years. He is already one of the best rim protectors we have in the league. He has eclipsed an average of 2 blocks per game in the past couple of seasons, a great indicator of his shot blocking prowess and overall contention. Furthermore, Turner has shown that he can space out the floor and hit the long-range shot. Turner is also one with a great contract set to earn a little above $17 million for the next 3 years, a figure that won't be that much of a financial burden. He's still very young at 24 years of age, and there's so much room for him to improve on both offense and defense. Moving Turner should not be an off-season priority and should be only done for great offers, such as a high-quality wing or high-upside wing. For example, if Boston somehow offers Jaylen Brown, then you jump on that deal. If you made it to this end of this video, consider subscribing. One thing that is not negotiable is put something down in the comments. I love to chop it up with you guys. I respond to every single comment. And yeah, until next time, stay safe.